Hello friend, welcome back. In your previous video, from here now you can able to insert that our leave, right? That means the employee leave. So now I want to edit it. So edit will be just like that same, and into the add employee. When you add any employee for the leave, and here you can see our employee name. That means employee name will be loaded. That actually comes from our user table. That should be as a selected, and also our purpose should be as a selected, right? So first of all, we have to actually display it. That means we have to make it as a selected, and also our this will be as a selected. So now let's do that work. So first of all, that is in our view page, right? So if you go to our employee leave, into the employee leave, that is our edit page. That is in our view page. We have to create one of the route for this one. Now go to our employee view, and that means the employee leave view. Into the employee leave view, that is actually the edit page. So into the edit, I want to change the name. I want to change it as a employee leave, employee.leave edit. Okay, and leave edit with also with the specific one of the ID. So right now we are already into the for each loop, and with this leave I add that ID. So now we have to create this route, and also they have one of the ID. Go to our web route, and now I copy this one, and that will be our edit. I paste it, and then I want to copy it. That will be the employee leave edit. I copy it, and then employee leave edit, and that will be as the edit. And after that edit, that will be also one of the ID. So I want to put one of the ID. Okay, so that is our edit, and then our ID. And now I want to create this method. That means a leave edit. So this type of one of the method I want to create in our employee leave controller. Now go to our employee leave controller. After that, that is our store. I think you already will understand about it. So here I put some of the spelling mistake for the data. Okay, so now I put another one as a public, and then function, and then our method will be as a leave, and that means the leave edit. So now that is our method, right? So into this method, we have to get some of the data from our three of this table. We have to get some of the data from our user table. We have to get some of the data from our leave purposes. If you now click the browse, here I have already inserted some of the leave, right? That means I have created some of the purposes. We have to get some of the data from here, and also we have to get that data from our employee leave. So if you want to do that work, we have to actually get three of this table. I have also created all that model. So now with this model we'll get it, and also they have one of the ID, right? So I have passed that ID because here we have to edit it with a specific one of the ID. So I simply add this ID, and after that I take one of the variable, as I name it as a data, and with the data area I take one of the variable name, whatever you choose. I name it as edit. Okay, edit data. See, with this edit data from our first, as I told you, we have to get data from our this table, that is our employee leave table. So for the employee leave, I have also created another model, that is our employee leave model, right? And also I have loaded, that is employee leave model will be needed, that is our leave purposes table will be needed, and the user table will be needed. So now first of all I want to get this data from our employee leave. I copy it, and then that is our employee leave. So with this employee leave, we have to find out a specific one ID data, because I want to edit it, right? Edit would be one of the specific ID data. So now I find this data, and after that I want to take this data from our user. So I make it as a data, and I take one of the variable as employees. Okay, I name it as employees. So this type of one of the name, and then with our user table, and from to the user table, as I told you friend, right now at that point you know about it, there is I put the where condition, because I only want to get a specific which user type will be as an employee, right? So now I make it as a user type. Okay, user type field, when this user type will be as an employee. Okay, that means the employee. So make that sure your spelling is correct. That means that is our employee. If you go to our user table, into the user table, all that employee data I want to take. Okay, so our user type will be only that employee. Perfect. So this data I want to take it, and then I want to get, I simply get this data, and also I take another one. I take that data, and data will be, I take it with the leave underscore purpose. Okay, I make it as a this type of one of the variable, and then our model name, our model will be as a leave purpose. That means this leave purpose model, with this I want to get all the data, right? So now with this leave purpose I want to get all the data. Perfect. And then simply return one of the view page, and into the return view, that means into the backend, and then I have created one of the folder as a employee, right? So I have created another folder as a employee. There is a controller, so that is our backend. With the backend, that is our employee folder, and then that is our employee leave, right? So I name it as employee folder, and then employee leave, that is employee underscore leave. Okay, so this folder, and into this folder area I want to create one of the page or the edit as a employee leave underscore edit. Okay, so that will be our page, and also I pass all that our data array, so I pass this data array. Perfect. So I hope, friend, every part is very much clear to you. So now we have to create this page as a employee leave edit page in our employee leave folder. Now go to our employee leave. Here I want to create another new page. Now click as a save as, name it as a employee leave dot edit underscore edit dot blade dot php. Okay, that will be our page. So this page will be just like our ad page. So better into the employee ad, I select everything, I copy everything, and now in our employee leave edit page, into the edit page here I paste it. So now I want to actually change it, so that will be as a employee leave, or I make it as edit. Okay, edit employee leave, and then that is will be one of the storage. So here also we have to update this data, that means the employee name. So employee name will be as a selected, right? So I think you already know, because only we have to add one of the condition. So this employee name will be as a selected, so only we have to put one of the condition. I think you already know about it. So sorry, so here we have to add this condition. I get all the data, with this here I get all the data with this as edit data, right, from our employee leave. So this employee leave, so with this edit data, I want to access our employee leave. Here into the employee leave, this employee ID will be matched with our requested ID. That's all. So with this employee data, I want to use that as employee underscore ID will be equal our this employee ID. Okay, I get this data from our users, so that will be the same. So here I also pass that same name. Okay, so with this I display our all that employee name, so that will be our this ID. Perfect. So I simply update it. When it should be matched, okay, it should be as a selected. So I make it as a, that will be as a selected, else it should be as an empty. That's all. Okay, that means that right now that should be as a selected. I check it. Now click as a save all, and now if you go, now refresh it, now click as a this test user, now click as a edit. Yeah, you can see test user is now selected. And also I want to show them selected as a our start date, so that will be into the value. So that is our start date. I want to put one of the value, so value will be the same. I pass all the data with the edit data, right, edit data. So with this edit data, I want to access our field name as a here as a start underscore date. Better go to structure, that will be as a start date. I copy it, that will be as a start date, right, friend? And here also I pass all the data as a edit data from our employee leave field, and I get that a specific one of the row ID data, right? So now we successfully we are able to display it. And then I want to also complete that all leave purpose. So for the leave purpose, I name it as a leave purpose. You can see I have also get the same as a data. I take one of the variable name as a leave purpose, and with this I get all the data and I pass it in our this edit page. So for the reasons actually into the for each loop, here I load it, right? So that is our leave purpose. Leave purpose also should be as a selected. That means here we have to put that condition. So after this, the same concept. Okay, so same concept means with this edit data, with this edit data, with this edit data. So with this edit data, I want to access our which field. With this edit data, I want to access our this employee leave table, this leave from purpose ID, right? So this leave purpose ID will be match. So this leave purpose ID will be match when it should be as equal our this leave ID. So here I have already get this data and take the things with this leave, and that is our ID, right? That means our leave purpose table ID, where it should be as equal this one. Then I want to make it as a selected, else it should be as a null. Okay, and also after that, that is our ANDed, that will be the same as a value. And then with this edit data, and then our field name as a ANDed, I copy it, so that will be as a ANDed, right? That's all. So now everything should be as a selected. Now click as a save all, and now go there, and now here if you go with a refresh, yes, you can see now actually selected as a friend problem, and also start date is selected and date is selected. And also I want to change that name as a submit to the update, because from here I want to update it. So that is our update. Okay, so that's all. So perfectly it's now showing that value. And also here I put that condition, this edit data, with this edit data I want to access this field. When this will be as equal our this ID, then it should be as a selected rather than it should be as empty. Same I did that work for the start date, that is our value. And then also I did the same concept for our employees. So that is the data actually comes from our same page, that is our employee ID, right? That means everything is on here. That is our employee leaves. Perfect. So now friend, we have to update. So if you want to update it, what exactly you have to do? You have to actually, that is also one of the form, right? And you can see that is one of the form. So now we want to change that form name as update employee leave. And also that we have to pass that ID. Our ID will be what? Our ID will be with our edit, with this edit date. Okay, edit data I want to access this ID. Okay, because here also you have to update it with a specific our ID, right? I hope it's very much clear to you. Because of all, here we have to update this all the data with this ID. That means this table, this ID. So I get this all that our this table data with this edit data, right? Here I take the things with this variable from our employee leave. Perfect. Now let's do that work. So that is our employee, that is the update employee leave. There is a post method, there is a CSRF token. Now go there, I copy it, that will be as a post method obviously. And then the leave, I make it as a update, not that edit, but I copy it like here. That will be the update employee leave. I copy it, and that will be our route name, and that will be as an update with a specific one of the ID. And then in our employee controller, into the employee controller, that will be as a leave update. Okay, so this step up one of the method I want to create, that will be as update. So now I copy this method. So here we have to create it in our employee leave controller that have also one of the ID. Now go there. After this, that will be the same as a public, and then function, and then our method. And as I told you, that is a post method. So here also we have to pass as a request, and then the $request, right? And also they have also one of the ID. So I pass this ID. I hope it's very much clear to you, friend. And now I want to actually copy everything. So that will be just like our leave store. That is the same condition will be applicable. So now I copy total things. Okay, I copy total things from to this position, and then here I paste it. Okay, I paste it. So that is our AND method. That is our AND method, and that is the last one. Perfect. So friend, here we don't need to change anything. Our this condition will be just like that same condition. Okay, because everything will be just like that same. Only that store will be changed, because here I don't want to store it, I want to actually update it, right? So update, then that means we have to update it with our this ID. So I just simply want to do our with this model, with this employee leave model, I want to find our requested ID. Our requested ID means the requested ID. Perfect. Now this will be get it, and then it will be updated that our rest of this, all that field, everything will be just like that same. Okay, here we don't need to change anything. And then I want to display some of the messages. Employee leave data updated successfully. Okay, only you have to just change that, find out that a specific row ID. Okay, into the row ID we have to update. That's all. Okay friend, that's all. And after that it will be returned direct to our employee leave view page. So I have also created as an employee leave view page. That means here we don't need to do anything. So everything will be just like that same. Now let's check this out. If you now click as a save all, now go there, now refresh it. So now I want to change that user. Okay, I want to change that user, and also I want to change that as a family problem right now. And date, I just make it as the same. Now click as update. Yes, you can see employee data, that means the leave data updated successfully. So now our user is also changed, and you can see our purpose is also become changed. That means everything is working perfectly. Okay, so here we successfully did that work. And now I want to work for the delete. Okay, so if you want to delete it, how can delete it? Next video I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.